So while the world is at chaos, I think I have a little bit of a story that might maybe, probably somehow brighten up the day. So fasten up your seatbelts because we're about to venture into a very, very interesting story. Well, this is actually a true life story. So yes, definitely it's interesting. So there was a lady called Zhang guimei. That's a Chinese name. She was born in 1957 in a town called Heilongjiang. That's a town known in China. Unfortunately, life didn't start well for Zhang. Zhang lost her mother at a very, very tender age. So Zhang and her father decided to move to a different province called Hunan. Wait, sorry, I pronounced that wrong. It's actually called Yunnan, which is known as the poorest region ever known in China, the southwest of China. So, as a very young woman, Zhang worked as a teacher. Not long after, she was diagnosed with a severe uterine fibroids. So, she had no money, no treatment. So, a local village decided to hopefully, luckily, donate for Zhang. So, that automatically changed her life. Imagine having to be in the poorest region known to that country, and then the villagers or the village, out of the sincerity of their hearts, come together to donate money for you. That is quite touching. Anybody, anybody will be touched by that. So this somehow pushed Zhang to make a promise to herself that if she survives the hardship of this life, she will repay the kindness with her life. So while teaching in the mountains, Zhang noticed something. She noticed that many teenage girls stopped coming to school. So whenever she asked the girls, why don't you come to school anymore? The answers were always the same. Some girls would say, my family can't afford school. Some girls would say, I need to get married. Some other girls would say, girls don't need education. They said all sorts of things. Then Zhang summoned the courage to visit their homes, one after the other. So anytime she visited, she noticed something. Some families locked their doors, some even insulted her, some laughed at her. Then Zhang decided she had seen enough. So she made a decision that she would do something exceptionally genius that no one in that mountain had ever done before. Let's call it the impossible dream. So Zhang made a vow. She said she was going to create China's first free high school education, most specifically for girls. Girls that felt unseen, girls that felt inferior, girls that had no money, girls that were even failing in health. And of course, people laughed at her. People said, look at you, you that came out of something, a family background that nobody has even heard of, that we even sponsored you in a time where you needed us. We gave you money, you were even feeling in your own health, and we assisted you. And then now you feel like you've outgrown that sense of poverty to be able to bring something that good into the environment that can help people that are like you. And of course, somebody as optimistic as Zhang did not feel discouraged by any of those accusations. Knowing how massive her dream was, she slept in classrooms. She even stood along the way begging. In short, she sold her own belongings. Sometimes she even ate leftovers and saved up money, not for herself, but for the students. Not until 2008, when the school was successfully and unexpectedly established, and they decided to name it the Huaping Girls High School College. The first year students were finding it difficult, of course, because growing up in an environment where there are little chances of being schooled, of being educated. So they grew up with this timidity. But then Zhang did not give up. Even at night, where she needed rest, she would still stay behind, holding onto a cane to teach them lessons. Lessons not necessarily, having to understand every syllable in the given curriculum, but then having to overcome that fear, that inferiority, that timidity in each and every one of them, which helped them a long way pursuing their careers. So year after year, they kept doing that continuously, and then something extraordinary happened. Let's call it a miracle. So with the knowledge and lessons they learned from Miss Zhang at Huaping's High School College, it led many of them to higher institutions. Many even went ahead graduating with engineering degrees, doctorate degrees, so on and so forth. But then where did that leave Zhang herself? Zhang became ill with even more than 20 illnesses. It left her really, really weak and nothing in value. Yes, Mrs. Zhang became elderly, and every time she was seated in front of her yard, people that passed by would always ask her, Madam, why didn't you get married? Why didn't you live the life you dreamed for yourself? And this was always her reply. If a girl can leave these mountains, her life will be much more bigger than mine. Can you imagine? Even at that critical condition, Mrs. Zhang was selfless. She thought of nothing more than having to help, having to be of great help to people that were at her stage, people that understood what being a poor child from a very chronic poor background was. So, what are the life lessons in this story? One, selflessness goes a long way. Having to be selfless requires a lot. It requires you to be able to accept so many things. It requires you to accept condemnation. It requires you to accept abuse. It requires you to accept very, very uncommon causes to yourself, just from people that do not understand the exact reason that led to your selflessness. Two, having to be very, very grateful. It's important to be grateful at times in life because not so many persons get to see the opportunities that are granted to you in a platter of gold. There are so many persons that wish that they will be in that particular situation, that particular level that you are. So don't ever feel like you are behind. Hi, my name is Mr. Adol P. P for Paul. So this is my first time saying a story. I would really appreciate it if you guys leave a like, a follow, so that it can help me in making more stories, more life-changing stories like this one. Thank you and have a great day.